Hey, I'm Lex.
And I'm Gibby. Welcome to another episode of Porch Swing People. We have a fun day ahead of us with Charles.
Do you know Charles, Gibby?
I have no idea who he is.
So you don't know if this is going to be a fun day ahead of us. We'll find out. Before I tell you a little bit about Charles, I've got a question for you, Gibby. Right off the bat, I haven't prepped you for this question. Are you ready?
I am.
Can you think of anything, maybe particularly from your time in the Navy, that before you did it, you were really scared to do it? And then once you did it, you realized it wasn't very scary and it was really fun?
You know, that's interesting. I usually looked at everything as I was excited to do it. And I was like, I can't wait to do this. But once we got started, I found out how big it sucked.
Actually, that was going to be my next question. My next question was, can you think of something in particular that you weren't scared to do, and then afterwards you were humbled and you realized it's actually pretty scary?
All right.
And I have my answer, but I want to hear yours first.
All right. Well, I have several of them. It wasn't so much scary as I couldn't wait to get on the little birds on those pods that you see people sitting on the outside. I was like, I can't wait to get on those. It's going to be a blast. You're just hanging out there in the wind.
Yeah, very free.
I got on the front of it. And as soon as we got up, it was like, this is awesome. And then I realized, man, this is an ab workout, because the wind's just, and then it started raining. And then I was like, oh my gosh, these needles are killing me. And, and then the same thing when we were in the boats, the high speed boats, I was like, I cannot wait to get on those. Those are going to be.
Oh, and you told me about this one.
Yeah.
So you get on and then you realize how choppy and bumpy it is, right?
The luster, it was gone in about 10 minutes. I was like, okay, this is it. And
Oh, man. And then skydiving too, when you're going through clouds, right?
yeah, usually they want to make sure that the sky is clear of clouds so you can have a good drop and you can see where you're going to. And but I was always wanting to jump through a cloud. I want to see what it's like. So I see a cloud. I had to track to it a little bit. I got in there, and you know what clouds are made up of? Dust and water drops.
Yeah.
It was needles in my face again.
All these things that turned out
Yeah.
to be.
I always thought it was going to be a blast, and it was still fun.
You learned it's fun, but there's also downsides to these things. But was there anything that you left and you were like, that was terrifying, I don't want to do that again?
I was fortunate enough to go through tandem school, and I didn't want to. It's where you jump with a big bundle, and it's half size refrigerator size, and I didn't want to go to that. I've seen some videos where it gets a little bit hairy and rodeo up there in the sky, and
Because you are jumping with this giant equipment that can't move out of the way, and it's
it's
extremely
attached
heavy.
to your chest, yeah, and you're hurling toward the earth, but. So I guess in that sense, I was like, oh, this is going to be
A little hesitant.
it's going to be tricky. It was the best program. The way that they ran it, it built on it, and the confidence when you're left, I'm like, I dug that. So I guess that was probably one of the, and when you're jumping out at 20,000 foot or something, full oxygen and everything else, you're like, okay, this is going to be sketchy. Let's just get it on.
Sure. Well, I'm going to share with you mine.
Okay, let's hear it.
So my brother-in-law lives in Alaska, and he took us to Katmai National Park. You can only get there by boat and plane. And you can hike to the river where all the bears are fishing. And you can be up on this platform, so you're looking at all the bears from safely above. We're up on the platform watching all of these very large male brown bears fishing, fighting each other for territory. Of course,
Yikes.
the person that I am, I feel so terrible for the young bears that are just trying to get food.
Yep.
That was one of the coolest things that I've ever done. But I left with what I think is a very healthy fear of brown bears.
Everybody should be.
Everybody should be. And I would do that experience again. It was so much fun. But I had like dreams about bear attacks for months afterwards. And occasionally I still get them. And I think, like you said, I think it's a very healthy respect and reverence for these giant creatures that this is their land to be on, and we're just, around.
You're the guest right there.
I also feel that way with wolves and mountain lions. And again, I think that it's probably healthy to have a sense of a little bit of fear for all of those things. But when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about your stories of traversing through the Alaskan wilderness with your guys in the Navy. And I was wondering, did you ever come across or did you ever see any wolves, bears, moose, anything while you were hiking in the wilderness?
We did a month of cold weather training in Kodiak, Alaska, but we did it in February. And one of my all-time favorite trips. It was a blast, but we didn't see any animals. I'm assuming the bears were doing their hibernation thing, and it was tricky though. It was the funnest trip, but it was also one of the hardest. There was a massive storm that we were trying to get through, and just not getting anywhere. We were all soaked. We're trudging along, and everybody's wet and miserable and everything. And one of the guys is like, "All right, from here on out, if you got something to say, you're going to sing it."
Good thing you have previous experience with the choir.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, you had 16 grown men trucking through the snow with snowshoes, and we were talking, but we weren't talking. We were singing to each other with questions. It was a magical moment because everybody was miserable, but we just laughed through it.
What a growing experience for all of you guys together.
Yeah, it was something else.
Can I tell you a little bit about Charles?
Okay, tell us about Charles.
I gotta tell you, I don't really know Charles that much.
Good, so we get to learn.
I know Charles because we worked together a few years ago, and he's part of our friend group. We're all young parents, and being the resident stay-at-home parent in the group, I have the honor of filling the role of childcare leave walking buddy. So for all of my friends on their maternity and paternity leaves, I'm around to go on walks and hikes and hangouts with our little kids. I went with Charles's wife when she was on leave. We would meet up at the park for a weekly walk, and then Charles was on leave and we hung out a few times, going on a few hikes and walks as well. So I did get to know him a little bit better, but I still have more to learn. So let's bring him on.
All right, let's do it. Welcome, Charles.
Welcome, Charles.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. So punctual.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
That's me. I'm here.
Greetings,
Sure.
Charles.
Excited.
Charles, before we hear a little bit about yourself, I wanted to show you and Gibby this new thing I got for my birthday from Charles and his wife. Just opened it yesterday. I was so surprised. Check this out.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that awesome?
Tell the listeners what you're showing us.
Well, it's a wonderful light up sign that says on air. Right, Charles?
I need that.
You need that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should all get one for whenever we're
and then
on
we can
air.
all click on air when we're on air.
Yeah, synchronized.
So I have it on right now, of course, because we are on the air and we're recording with our friend and Gibby's new friend, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Charles, tell us a little about yourself.
Longtime listener, first time caller. I am a teacher. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a gamer. I'm a creator. I've lived in Washington for about 10 years, but I'm originally from the Midwest. I moved out here with my wife, then girlfriend, about 10 years ago to get our first teaching jobs.
And you're both from Michigan, right?
Yeah, we met in Michigan. I went to school there, and she actually went to school in Ohio, but visited Michigan where her family is, and we met there one summer.
Now, you said that you're a gamer. Your wife was saying that you used to stream like video game playing on YouTube. Is that true?
Yeah, on Twitch, but I've done a little bit of streaming. Mostly during the pandemic is when I got into it because I was like locked inside all day and I just needed like creative outlets and ways to connect with people. So I would stream different video games and talk with people. And I actually got really into this community for this game that I would stream a lot of. It was called Duelist. And that was the other podcast. I've been on one podcast before and it was for that game because I was streaming and I was in this tournament and I was doing really well. And so they invited me on to this podcast to talk about.
Okay, what an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have previous
really
streaming
cool.
and podcasting experience, and we have none. So what do you have to
Oh,
say?
yeah. I mean, I also taught online during the pandemic too, because we were streaming lessons from home. So that was kind of like my own little podcast.
I guess
That,
you're right.
so yeah, I have a little bit of experience, and gaming is one of my main hobbies, something that brings me a lot of joy, and is a way for me to like connect with people and meet new people that I wouldn't normally meet. So
Lexi's brother does a little gaming. When he was younger, we got him the consoles and different ones, and the Wii. I was a master at the Wii. Yay!
oh yeah, and I had a Wii when I was a kid. Remember Wii Sports? They had like the bowling and the baseball and stuff. It was good times.
I think I played on 2 consoles my entire life. That would be the Super Nintendo, which I still have
Oh
my
yeah.
Super Nintendo, and a Wii. And once I realized a few years ago that Wii was like way in the past, it was a little bit sad because I thought that I was upgrading with the Wii from my Super Nintendo.
Oh, well, I mean,
It's really hard to actually keep up with the technology if you're not really in the world of gaming at all.
it is. Even if you are in the world, it's pretty
Really?
hard to keep up with it. Yeah, I think.
Charles, you said that you do art or creator. What is it that you're doing in that?
So I like to create things. I don't really like work in one space. I just kind of like randomly will create here and there as the mood strikes. I actually create like games or like design different types of games, is like a big joy for me, and then playing it with my friends or
Like board games?
like card games. So there's
Okay.
one game I play is called Magic, and using the cards that already exist, I like create games like within the game of Magic. It's kind of like creating like a new type of poker. Like I'm using the cards that already exist. I'm just like making new like rules for them, for people to play with them.
Well, Charles, you traveled to play Magic the Gathering with your friends, right?
Yeah. So I don't like release anything for sale or anything like that. But there's actually a tournament next weekend that I'm playing in, and it's like people submitted designs that they made of different collections of like Magic cards that they designed, and one of my designs got accepted. And so I'll get to like see
Congratulations.
different people. Thank you. I'll get to see like different people playing with my creation.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I've actually been pretty nervous about it because it's the first time I've been to these types of tournaments before, but it's the first time my design will get played.
You want a good reception.
Exactly. Yeah, like I want to make sure like things, like the rules are fair and balanced, and like everything's in place for people to have a good time. So like I've been forcing all of my friends to like play what I created.
their feedback?
Well, yeah, because I want to, I just want to like iron everything out, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, can we play something else?" I'm like, one more time, just one more time, come on. But
You're
I think
gonna have to let us know how it goes.
oh yeah, definitely. I was really nervous at first, but after a lot of testing and like practice with it, I'm feeling in a good place with it. So I'm excited for, that'll be next weekend.
That's cool.
Great.
Well, Charles, you said kind of nervous about that tournament coming up. Tell us something that you feared back in the day, but now you love.
Yeah. So I said I've been in Washington now for 10 years. We moved here in the summer, and we'd been living here about 6 months. And I was in my apartment. My wife was coming home from work, and I get a call from her, and she's driving. She stopped in the road, and she says, "Charles, there's a black bear in the middle of the road. It's like crossing the street." And we live in this suburban area in Washington, just this like apartment complex. We're from the suburbs in Michigan too, which suburbs are different in Michigan than Washington, which I think this story will illuminate. But she's like, what do I do? There's this bear here. And I say, what do? You should call the police. It's a wild animal. There's kids around. And she's like, okay, yeah. So she calls the police, and they're like, okay, there's a bear. What do you want us to do? She's like, I don't know. What do you usually do when there's a bear? And they say, just leave it alone. What do you mean? What do we do?
Don't
And
feed
so, yeah. So she comes home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Did like animal control come? Did the police come? She goes, no, they just told me not to go near it. And I was like, couldn't believe it. I was like, there's a bear around here? Like, that, how are we going to be safe? Of course, I had not realized in Washington State that
so funny.
the people's relationship with nature and like wild animals is very different than Michigan. I mean, in Michigan, where I grew up, if there was a fox outside, like, we would call animal control. It was,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was very different. And so now, my wife and I own a house. We live at the mountain, and we're surrounded by pretty woodsy areas. And just a few months ago, my wife called me from upstairs. She goes, Charles, there's a bear in the backyard. And I go, oh boy. I grab my cell phone, I run to the back, and I like recorded this black bear like running all through our backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if I've shown you the video, but I'll show you
No,
sometime.
I haven't seen it.
We want to see it.
Our ring also captured a black bear one time, like going in front of our house and going through our garbage. So now I show my friends back home in Michigan the bear, our pet bear, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you safe?" And we're like,
They're like,
"Oh yeah."
Did you call the police?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, if I saw a bear in person, I would probably still be a little scared. But I think my relationship with like nature in general has changed a ton since moving here. I mean, I used to never like go on hikes or like go camping or be an outdoorsy person, and I still am not. But I like have come to appreciate those things a lot more. I've come
Well,
to
in your
appreciate
intro,
those.
before we brought you on, I was telling everybody that we went on a couple hikes during your paternity leave and how that was fun, and I got to know
That
you
was
a
so
little bit
fun.
better.
Yeah.
Oh man, but we didn't see any bears that time, unfortunately,
That's true. Yeah, it'd be a little different
Well,
with the
luckily.
kids, I think.
because we had our children. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charles, now that you are more of an outdoorsy guy and you get out into the wilderness, but you also live in the greater Seattle area, which is known for its music and different genres, tell us about a show or music that you like in the area.
I'm a big fan of the band The Gorillaz. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I got really into them in 2005-ish. I was in middle school at the time, and I've listened to them ever since. You know, follow every new album that came out. Finally got the chance to see them live in 2017. It was their first new album in like 7 years, so it's kind of a big deal. And I was living here in Washington at the time. My wife and a friend of mine and his wife all got tickets. It was at the old Key Arena in downtown Seattle, and it was an amazing show. Great like mix of like classic songs like from back in the day and stuff from the new album.
The top songs would be. What are their top songs?
So Clint Eastwood was probably their first big hit, which they played at the show, and then Feel Good Inc. is their next big song.
Okay, so you saw them at Key Arena.
So they were playing, and it was a really good show, but they hadn't played Feel Good Inc. yet, which is their like biggest hit. And like sometimes, you know, artists don't like to play their biggest hit, you know, at shows, I feel like, because they want to like show off different stuff. It was fine that they weren't playing it, but like I really wanted them to play it, and you could tell like people were like calling it out, "Feel Good Inc." You know, like they wanted them to play the song. So the show ends. They hadn't played it, and we were like, okay, they'll come back for the encore. They'll play "Feel Good Inc." That, you know, bring the house down. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Damon Albarn comes back on, sits down at a piano, and he goes, "I have a new song for you. I just wrote it. It's called Ode to Idaho. It's a mess, but we're gonna try it." The artist is pretty well known for like when he's touring, when he's on the road, he writes a lot. He creates a lot of music. It's like that's a good time for him to like get into his creative flow. So he must have been on the tour bus coming out to Washington, passed through Idaho, and he wrote this song.
Oh, that makes sense. Hence the ode.
Right. So he plays the song, and it is a mess. Like they had to restart it halfway through, and like this is not like some small show. This is like thousands of people in an arena watching this band.
I'm
gonna try something out on you guys.
Yeah, and he like stops his
for the
support
encore.
band. Yeah, he like stops his band halfway through. He's like, "That was bad. We're gonna do it again." And so they start it from the top, and It was kind of awkward, but it was also really cool because I had never seen an artist like do that, like on a stage that big, just kind of like experiment and try something new. He had an album that came out like pretty quickly after that, which I think was mostly stuff that he had made on tour. And so that song Idaho is on it. And every time I listen to it, I'm like, I was one of the first people in the world to hear that
Wow.
song, like the first version of it.
You were there
So,
helping him give feedback, basically, as an audience member. That's
yeah.
pretty cool. But did he play Feel Good Inc. then?
No, he never did.
Are
Oh
you kidding
no.
me?
I know. Yeah, they played a few others, but not that one. But you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
They got to mix it up. I get it.
I had Eve and Charles over for dinner maybe a year ago, and we made them a meal. And of course, anytime I invite people over for dinner, I'm super nervous about, what they're going to think of what we made for them. And I mean, we made pasta because that's what my 3-year-old likes to have
Yes, he
multiple
does.
nights a week.
He's got good taste.
Anyway, I find out that Charles is like a really big cook and he's like really good with food. So now I'm even more stressed out about my pasta. But Charles, tell us a little bit about your experience with food. And particularly, is there any meal that you've ever had that was so good that you still remember it?
Yeah. Before I get into that, though, that pasta was amazing.
Oh,
And
gosh.
Can
Go
I
on.
ask, you guys sometimes make your own pasta out of like squash or something? Am I right? Have you done this?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah, I did take a pasta making course a couple of years ago that my brother and sister-in-law got for us for Christmas one year. And it was so fun. And then for a while, we were making our own pastas. But that was pre-kid when we had
Okay.
time to just
So
make pasta.
so Charles did not get to get some of your
No, it was box pasta.
squash pasta. Okay.
I've always wanted to make my own pasta. It sounds really cool.
Well, come over sometime. We'll make some.
I haven't gotten a
We have our
chance to.
little machine, and
That's really cool.
it is really fun.
Yeah. There's some things you can make yourself and save so much money. Like I make my own hummus and
Right
like
on.
so it's so cheap. Like a can of chickpeas and spices and olive oil, like you can make it a fraction of the cost.
Well, I'm gonna need the recipe for some of that.
I actually do have my own recipe because I really like spicy things. So I'll do a hummus with like blended habaneros in it to give it a little kick. But I like habaneros a lot, so because it adds that sweetness of the pepper too. So I don't know if you're into spicy things, Gibby, but I can send you that recipe.
I'm into spice.
You are cool.
Next time Gibby's up here, we'll come over and you can make us some hummus.
Yeah, I would love that. I started making my own hot sauce this summer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got really into like cooking with peppers. Usually, I like get really into like an ingredient. I'll like discover an ingredient, and then I'll be like, what are all the things I can do with this?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I'm the cook in our family, the main cook, and I really do love cooking for people, for my wife. And most recently for my child, she just turned 1, so she started Solid Foods in the last 6 months. And so that's been like super fun to like introduce new foods to her and make family meals that we get to share with her. And she, splatters the spaghetti all over her face and hair and everything. It's just been, it's been a blast.
Charles and Eve have got a whole new world now. Your lives are flipped upside down with the new guy.
Yeah. With our daughter, and it's definitely been flipped in a great way. I mean, the first year of parenthood has been amazing for both of us. We've had a lot of support from friends like Lexi and other people in our group that have really made it such a positive experience. I'm just so excited to go into the summer, especially. Last summer she was 2 months old, so she was just kind of like still potato mode, like just had to keep her safe. But now she's like running all over the place and starting to talk and eating spaghetti, and I'm really excited to have the time off work to spend with her.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
The memorable meal is the spaghetti.
Yeah. So I'm the cook in the house. I love cooking for people, and I get that from my mom because she still is the cook whenever we visit, and she cooked for us growing up, and she always says cooking is love because it's one of the easiest ways to show someone you care for them. And I remember this one meal in particular. I was away at college, and I only went to school like 2 hours away, from my hometown, so not too far. I'd come back, once a month or so. And this one time, I had a trip planned home, and she said, "You want me to make you anything special? Cook a meal or whatever." And I don't know why I said this. This part of the story I don't remember. I said, "Could you make me a big salad?" And I don't know if I had seen the Seinfeld episode recently or if I was on some health kick at the time. I could not tell you, but that's what I told her, and she said, "Great, I'll make you a big salad." I get home, and she had made the biggest salad I had ever seen, not just in volume of leaves, but she had chicken and strawberries and other types of berries and 3 different types of cheese and sunflower seeds and avocado and hard-boiled eggs. It was insane.
Wow.
She had put so much time into making this big salad, which is it's not like I don't have fond childhood memories of big salads or anything. I don't even know where she got it from, but it really struck me, especially being away from home for a while and not having my mom's cooking. It was I realized how much it meant to me. And so,
yeah. Well, your mama loved her boy.
Exactly. And so when I cook for people,
pass that on.
Yeah, when I cook for people and cook for my daughter, I always try and hold on to that sentiment that cooking is love.
Oh, I love that. It is very fun to make things for your kids and experience or watch them experiencing new things. But I would say I'm not the same caliber of a cook as you are. And I remember when we started Solid Foods with my oldest, my wife and I had this realization that, oh my gosh, we have to make 3 meals a day, every day, forever from now on.
Yeah. We just celebrated her 1-year birthday the other week, and Lexi, you were there with the boys, and it was just crazy to think wow, we have a 1-year-old that.
Yeah.
People always said
That is
oh, the
crazy.
time goes by so fast, but until you're actually living it, you don't really know what it's like. It does go by fast, and they grow so quick. But this is such a fun age. She's developing her little personality and her likes and dislikes, and we're trying to we're teaching her at the same rate that we're also learning from her and who she is.
That's profound.
Oh, thanks.
Charles, you said you're so excited about this summer. You should be. 1 to 2 is one of my favorite ages so far because they are trying to get all the skills that they want to have, to be able to do things physically and be able to speak. But they don't have those skills yet, so they compensate with whatever they can figure out. And they're just learning so many things every day. It's such a blast. So it's going to be a fun summer.
And they try to mimic everything.
Yeah.
So
The little one, Lexi's little one, it wants to be just like, his big brother. And she sent me a picture the other day. He'll just be trucking along on his bike, and he'll stop and he'll just drop the bike, boom, right there on the sidewalk or in the grass. And the little one following along, he stops, and it's a bike. It's like a tricycle, but he flipped it over on its side next to the other bike.
Yeah.
Be like his big bro.
Oh, he walked over and he gently put it on its side and then ran off to go join him. It was so fun.
That's cute. That's really cute.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, I understand you got something big you're looking forward to this week.
So I kind of already talked about it, the tournament that's happening next weekend. I'm really excited for. We've been doing our state testing in school this past week, and so we'll finish that up this week with the students. I teach 5th grade this year, and that's always such a relief for everybody to be through that, and it's really for the teachers, it's really for the kids. So I'm excited to have that behind us. NBA playoffs are this week. I'm big into basketball, into NBA. So the semifinals, the last game's today, and then the conference finals start this week. So yeah, there's a lot of things here and there that I'm excited for.
Yeah, that's a lot of things in 1 week. Oh gosh, it's so nice to be done with testing.
Your kids, do they get worked up? Anxiety, yeah, I got to do this, or?
Yeah, definitely. It's tough because on one hand, it's they're kids, and it stinks to have these big tests and see them have so much anxiety. These tests don't get them into college or even get them into middle school. It's you know, you hate to see them go through that anxiety for what they're working on, but it's also like good life skills. You need to take tests your whole life, etc. So just like helping them cope with that anxiety and plan for the future is important stuff to work on.
Man, you
That's a good
teachers,
point.
such an underappreciated, occupation, trying to help the next generations to come.
Yeah.
And, and then the rest of us, we're just doing our adult thing.
Teachers are so important.
Well,
They
thank
are
you.
extremely
I actually recently realized that the kids I work with, like I'm teaching my second generation from when I started my career, because we started teaching, what was it? Gen Z was the first group.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
and now the current year of kids I'm teaching is Gen Alpha, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been teaching for so long. I'm on my second generation of
That's awesome.
kids.
That's weird to think about.
It is really weird to think about. Last year or this year, I started getting emails from students who are graduating high school, checking
Wow.
in and letting me know.
I was going to ask, do you guys get invited to go to the graduate, or, I had favorite teachers when I was,
Yeah.
that I
Well,
remember.
like, I mean, my wife works in high school. She gets invitations like that all the time because you're so recently working
Close.
with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to go back to an elementary teacher and send them an email because you're thinking of them, that's a major honor.
Yeah, I haven't gotten invited to a graduation yet, but honestly, just the email, the shout out is enough. It's pretty cool. The fact that they remembered me all those years
Yeah.
later.
So, Charles, tell us something in the span of your lifetime that you are looking forward to experiencing.
My whole lifetime. I guess right now, I'm just kind of focused on raising my daughter and doing a good job with that. I'm really excited for this summer. My wife and I, used to go. We've gone back to Michigan almost every summer since we moved out here. We missed the pandemic year, and then we missed last year because our daughter was just born. And so we'll go. We have plans to go back this summer, and it'll be her first time doing the Michigan summer trip. My parents they try and rent a house every summer for us, and so we'll go to the house rental. It's gonna be on a lake. My sister and her husband will be there. So my daughter will get to see her aunt and uncle and hang out by the Michigan water, and maybe she'll try her first s'mores. I'm just
That's so exciting.
All right, that is
yeah,
cool.
I'm at the point. I feel like obviously there's things that I want to experience, but like I just care more about what she's experiencing now, and I'm kind of living vicariously through it and like getting to relive parts of my childhood. So that's really the stuff that I'm most excited for.
Yeah,
Just
it's the
seeing
best.
what she's gonna get up to.
Oh, that's so nice. I agree. I mean, in every age, there's something new to look forward to. So it's hard to find balance sometimes of like, this is what I'm so excited about right now, but I'm also excited about what's going to happen in the future, and I don't want them to grow up too fast.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, Charles, thank you for joining us. It was fun. It was nice meeting you and listening to your stories.
Thanks. Yeah,
Such
nice meeting you
a
too.
cool person, right?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, but I do come up occasionally, and I would like to meet you in person. And quite honestly, I'd be fine if you cook for me, for us.
Yeah, I'd love to meet you. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on the pod. You two
Your
are
second
great.
one.
Yeah, you two are great hosts, and I'm excited to keep listening to more episodes.
Well, a fine guest indeed. Thanks, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for your
of
time.
course.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Well, what a lovely time with Charles.
Charles was cool. I dig him.
Yeah, what did you expect based on my little introduction about Charles versus the person that Charles is?
Well, honestly, you just said he was going to be cool, so expectation was easy. He was cool.
He was cool.
I didn't have anything else. Well, the one thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to YouTube, or I'm going to hop on and listen to these songs.
The
from
Gorillas? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to see Charles transition into parenthood. Charles and Eve together, they're just the best parents. And to hear about how excited he is about summer and how wonderful it is to be able to cook for his daughter now and watch her experience these types of things for the first time.
Cooking is love.
It's such a cool, full circle experience with him telling us about his mom, teaching him that to cook for someone is to show that you love them. And that it's, well, when he said that his mom said it's the simplest way, I was like, it's not the simplest way. It's not for people who don't really have a natural inclination for cooking. But if you do, then and I think maybe you said this, Gibby, that this is a little bit of a trend with our guests. Different ways that we are all connected together. One of those big ways is food, sharing meals together and cooking for people that you love. That's so true. So what are you going to make for someone today?
I do have to go to the store today to get ingredients for a dish I'm going to make tomorrow.
For the potluck.
For the potluck.
I do know that every time you make something for the work potlucks, they seem to be well received.
Think that this one will be good.
Well, I'll have to hear about it. And that concludes another episode of Porch Swing People.
Thank you for tuning in.
And follow us on Instagram. We post pictures that our guests have. We share music that's important to our guests. You remember how we've been talking about possibly ending this podcast? Porch Swing People out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You say it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Porch Swing People out.
That's a bit cheesy. We'll have to work on that.
Porch Swing People is recorded and produced by Lex and Gibby. Opening music was written and produced by Michael Gibson. Porch Swing People is a podcast featuring everyday people. If interested in being a guest, email us at porchswingpeeps@gmail.com.